need a table for Cheyenne's reception for their wedding cake to go on for display.
Okay.
You want to pull that off? Rectangle, something not too crazy high, but it doesn't have to be too big
How
because
high?
it's just for the cake. Like 32 inches tall, probably.
Okay.
And
Rectangular,
but then I also need you to stain it.
rustic,
Yeah.
slivers or no slivers?
No slivers. Unless-
Rustic,
I don't want any slivers in Cheyenne's dress.
no slivers.
Okay? Yeah.
Okay. Can I double this table to work in the little cabin?
Absolutely. That's even better. Is that more of a benefit?
Well, yes. I've been wanting to make a table for the cabin for
Is it too much to do it round? Can you pull up a round table?
a round circle. No, sorry.
No?
You said rectangular.
Okay. Well, in my brain I was like, maybe a round. But you don't want to pull that off.
No.
Okay.
Look at our house.
It's all rectangle.
We like hard lines and square edges.
Okay.
It's
A little more simple.
a little bit easier for the brain to handle. Okay, I'm gonna run up to. I'm gonna take Ruby and run up to the cabin and make some measurements. Take some measurements real quick just to make sure that whatever I build will work up there.
Okay.
Okay.
Desk first, sure.
And how much time do I have before you'll need this?
Couple weeks. We're down to
weeks?
like 2 weeks.
So
Yeah.
what's more important, desk or front porch?
The desk.
Today?
Although my mom is gonna get after you if the porch isn't done. Really like the front porch to be done, but
Of course, I'll get it done. Of course.
we're getting down to the wire.
Yep.
Good luck with that measuring and staining and knuckles, really. No knuckles.
No knuckles. We don't do knuckles, right?
No. Okay.
All right.
So
I'll be back and
4 hours.
forth. Me and Ruby are gonna run up there real quick and get some measurements. Ruby, let's go.
Thank you.
Love you. Bye. Well, there is no question that that could have been much worse. I had forgotten why my shoulder's been sore for the last week. But I had some leftover posts that I wanted to try and make into a table that would ultimately end up in the tiny cabin, and Cedar gave me the opportunity to do it. So from the jump, I don't have enough materials to have a 4-post table. But I don't just want to turn these posts into firewood. So it's going to be a 2-legged table. I don't have quite enough of the 1x12s here that I'm going to need to finish the roof and the siding. So with this desk, I'm being a little bit picky about the wood that I'm going to use on it. So hopefully this turns out the way that I see it in my head. But the legs of the desk are pine and everything else will be Doug fir, which means when I stain it, I may get 2 different colors. And I don't think that's what my wife had in mind when she said rustic. I need to talk about where the excavator's at and why it hasn't been in any recent videos. The excavator has been sitting at a local mechanic's shop while it's being worked on by both the dealer and that mechanic. I talked with the dealership yesterday and it's taking a little bit of time to get some parts, but I refuse to give up on that excavator, and my hope is that in the next few weeks it'll be back up here and working like a champ. But I definitely need to get the front porch done first. Maybe Cedar called the dealership and told them to hold on to those parts until the front porch was officially completely done. But it is officially time to be outside because the weather is great. Okay, after sleeping on it and thinking about this desk, I've decided to take about 3 inches off the legs, put a cross brace in, put the feet on it, stain it, get it up to the cabin. And I'm going to spend the rest of the day up at the cabin with the kids. I think we're going to stay the night up there even. I'm going to try and get the desk up there to use tonight, but I will still need to put a clear coat on it. So we'll see how it goes here. I already find myself thinking about the projects that are not going to get done before we have snow on the ground again. And as soon as that excavator's back here, we're going to start on the hillside as well as the new root cellar. You know, I might be dangerous if I ever had a real wood shop, but I really prefer working like this. When I use the word rustic, what I'm really saying is there's going to be flaws and imperfections, but we're going to hide those behind the word rustic. So far the little table's turning out pretty cool, but I think it might be a touch too tall. I have found that using the angle grinder and a sanding disc enhances the rustic look very well.
Come a long way, baby. You are the best thing.
A little Ray LaMontagne always goes a long way on my projects.
Trouble been dogging my soul since the day I was born.
I should most definitely be working on the front porch, but I got a free pass to start a new project from my wife. So of course I'm going to stretch this out as long as I can because this is much funner than removing siding. On the underside of the table, I'm using the same stain that I used to stain the second story floor because I like the look, but I've got to make sure that I get the pine and the Doug fir looking alike enough where nobody notices. I know what this desk is going to be used for, and like Cedar said, no slivers, but I really do need to get back on the front porch, so I need to get the desk wrapped up. So far, I have about $6 and just a few hours tied up in this desk. And it is by definition rustic with no slivers. After letting the desk sit out in the sun for a few hours, I'm now putting a couple of coats of polyurethane over everything, and it needs to dry so I can get it up to the cabin. But I think the desk turned out pretty cool, and I think it'll serve its purpose for a long time to come.
First load.
Oh, I ain't gonna live like this no more. Most of my life's been waging war. I found peace, I could've swore. What she did shook me to the core. I ain't gonna live like that no.
Ready?
Oh, I ain't gonna live like this no more. Trouble comes when the barmaid pours. Another foreman who should have found the door. Oh, when I get going, you can hear me roar. And you know I can't live like this anymore. Oh, I ain't gonna live like this no more. Hurting as bad as the years before. Living in a lie I can't.
Or let's let that burn for a second. It's still got
Oh, I had
just
to
like
cut
this one.
ties to settle the score. I ain't gonna live
That's all
like this
took right there.
no more.
So what about right there? Right there, I guess.
So today we drove up to the cabin on our four-wheelers, and we're gonna stay the night. And so our cabin is really dirty, so we're gonna have to clean it, and we're gonna sleep up in the top.
So this is the first official time anybody stayed in here. We got to get it vacuumed out. We're going to wipe the windows down. We're going to vacuum. Hey, there's Root Tube. We knew she was around here somewhere.
Hi, girl.
We need to bring Bandit up here too. Mom's going to be here in like an hour and a half or 2 hours. Let's get the inside done,
And then the top done.
the top done, and then we'll get a fire going outside, and we'll start cleaning up out here.
We've been wanting to come stay up at the cabin for a long time now, but we're so glad that the weather is finally letting us get up here. We run at daylight really early, so we're trying to get the floor swept up, and we're going to get the bed set upstairs. And growing up, I spent a lot of time out in the forest camping, and so this kind of reminds me of my childhood a little bit. Except this is so much better than being in a tent, and we have a fire, so it's going to be warm, and we're super excited.
It doesn't take Cedar very long at all to make the little cabin feel just like home. Starting first with a little cleanup and then some decorating. You know, ultimately I don't know what this cabin is for other than making memories. But if you owned 85 acres, you would want a little cabin that might be a little bit hard to get to on your land as well, I promise.
Green, Callie. Green. So we're gonna set up our beds right now so we can go to sleep.
Before Cedar and I got married, we went to one of her family reunions up in Alpine, Arizona, where her grandparents had built a very small rock cabin. And I still to this day remember how much I liked that little place. The bear rug that we have sitting down in our utility room that's waiting to be hung on our wall is the bear that Cedar's grandmother had to shoot from the front porch of that cabin.
Little Ruby enjoying my new cabin with Bandit.
Is this going to be your new home away from home?
Huh?
Is this going to be your new home away from home?
How was the first night?
It was really fun. We had to build fires, and
We burned a lot of that wood up that we wanted to clean up. We got a little bit more here we got to clean up.
then we got s'mores, and
We had s'mores and we had oatmeal this morning.
yeah.
And you guys found a spot to build a fort. And we were warm. We didn't even have to have a fire. We were
Yeah.
plenty warm, right? When we got the fire going this morning for our oatmeal, it just about cooked us out of the cabin. Was that the first time Callie and Reed have officially camped?
Yes.
For real?
Yes.
Like,
Little. I mean, they did when they were little, but not. Actually, I think Reed, that might be his first time.
bro, that ain't acceptable.
Just a little dumb tip next time they could put the tent out.
Well, they're going to build their fort. And they can sleep in their fort.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Had I known what the back of our property looked like, I would not have built the cabin here. But now that the cabin's here, we're going to make the best of it. And over summer, we're just going to continue to clean up all this area because there's just so much brush that needs to be cleaned up. Ruby slept right next to you. Even our sleeping situation wasn't bad. Even
The pad was just really hard.
your pad was really hard.
Yeah.
I think that was Ruby. Bro, you
the
had
pad
two
is-
pads.
Yeah, the pad was really
Me and Mom had one.
Yeah, because isn't that too soft? Yeah.